Hey everyone, it is in the wee hours, December 17th, 2020, and kind of been on a teeter-totter with the news cycle between COVID and the election, but I think we'll be able to lay off the election soon here. The Electoral College has made its official vote just a couple days ago on the 14th, and the outgoing President Trump has filed I think about 50 lawsuits trying to get the vote overturned and say it was fraudulent, and that hasn't worked out for him. So there's a great deal to talk about another stimulus deal, and we'll look at what the COVID numbers later toward the end of this. And not surprised to see this headline that the expectations of inflation are rising interest in gold. Now, here's where we've been. It's we knew, we started hearing about COVID here, right? It wasn't totally new. But yeah, here goes the market, and it hits the bottom there March 16th, roared back up, pretty choppy. Now this is the S&P. The Nasdaq was had even more of an aggressive recovery. But I guess what's interesting to see here in the context of the election results, 14, that the Electoral College certifying its vote. Yeah, I don't see any major change in the market. Actually, let me look at the 5-day. So this is the 10th, 14th. Was it? It says what time this was announced. Yeah, kind of hard to say, but I guess yeah, the Electoral College certifying its vote here may have had a slightly positive spin on the market, but you'll see that most of the headlines are really not related to the election. It was interesting, even here on Seeking Alpha, which is often quite interesting, nothing even related. Oh, well, here's COVID. French president test positive, but not as much COVID news as previously seen. The Economist had a really interesting piece talking about how the president who was coming in after the Spanish flu was talking about normalcy, and how coming out of the war and out of the Spanish flu led into the 20s, and the writer thinks that this decade may now be spurred with such energy. Be interesting to see. But there are folks still working to overturn the election. In fact, the outgoing, let me see if it says it here. Right, yeah, this. Trump has reportedly been convinced he actually won, and tells advisors he may not vacate the White House. An astonishing twist to this. So yes, we still have some election drama to sort through. Over on Fox, really, yeah, just a comment on futures gaining. not much COVID news. Although, we also have progress in the vaccine, which, that's kind of been more over the past 2 weeks. We've had some good vaccine announcements. Seems like more are being made, and a variety. Supposedly, maybe 10 million Americans might get it this month, and um, someone said, like, by June, everyone in America who wants one should be able to get one, and it'll be free. Um, I haven't read that myself, but you kind of wonder if this is kind of an attitude supporting the market and kind of the news flow. So yeah, it's kind of a split thing here, right? I mean, we've got this relief, finally, not only they invented the vaccine, but it's finally starting to be deployed. Now, it's such great news, light at the end of the tunnel, and Americans are draining their checking account and stimulus talks drag on. The unemployment is probably pretty horrible still. I'm sure a lot of these are pretty old. So you can see what happened here as a result of the shutdown and everything. Like, it's been, yeah, really, really tough on a lot of people. So here's one that seems a little more current, right? That's eased back about a third. So here's our actual numbers, daily deaths. And this is the United States. It's uh, different in each state, but here's where we peaked: 2,300 deaths a day, April 13th. Now supposedly we're here like March 17th. So also very close to about 2,000 deaths a day. So you get these scenarios, right? If everybody suddenly got on board and was wearing a mask and things were being careful. And this is, I think that this best case scenario is a possibility, given that culturally, nationally, we demonstrated this being our tolerance level of deaths per day. Especially given the bed use, right, and the hospital resource use, because when when people are backed up in parking lots or or the ambulances can't take them anywhere, it starts to look really, really ugly. And so I think as we get up to this level, and you're seeing people dying in the parking lot, people have to take stronger action. And so that's why I don't think that this is reasonable. The worst case scenario. But any of these here, the middle one or the lower one, kind of seem like where we're headed. So right now, today, we are not yet at the peak, right? We came through Thanksgiving. Apparently a bunch of people got together and passed around their COVID. Oh, let's do it again for Christmas. Great. So then, it goes, and then, I don't know, this coming down January 1st seems a little optimistic. Maybe it will creep up the red line a little bit, but here's the probably the most macabre part of this is, we're looking at these stats and daily deaths, but when you put it in the context of what we've viewed or recorded as our deadliest days in history, from Galveston hurricane to Pearl Harbor, and then it's COVID. last Thursday, last Wednesday, last Tuesday. Title of this piece is How Our Brains Can't Handle It. And I don't think it's Americans, but just it's hard for a lot of people to grasp, and unfortunately, it's causing numbers like like we've seen. Well, front page from May. I mean, now we're if 100,000 is an incalculable loss. I mean, aren't we? I think we're at 500,000 now. Well, actually, we could come back over here because in addition to daily deaths, it's got the cumulative. Yep, there we are. Look at that. This. Okay, so right, so today we're probably around 300,000 deaths, and it's showing 500,000 projected. Whew. Yeah. So until these updates and reports are no longer necessary, I'll still do them occasionally. Looking forward to 2020 being hindsight.